So the start to our life in Serie B has been interesting. Had to make a few changes. Let's talk about them. Hello and welcome back to episode 9 of Going Pro with me, Dan, aka D-Boy Plays. So I've played a few games in Serie B with our boys, Pro Vercelli, and as you can see by the form, there's been some mixed results. Where I last left you was our opening game against Lecce. We won 1-0 with one of our key players getting sent off, Amadou Traore. And I'm going to say that had a bit of a knock-on effect for our next few games, because obviously we were without him for those 3 matches. We drew against Cesena, who, if you remember, were one of the teams that came up with us from one of the other Serie C leagues. Lost 1-0 to Parma. That was an annoying loss, very irritating, only just losing that one. And losing 3-2 to Cittadella, not ideal, although Comey getting a pair of goals. And then losing to Tanana, not quite sure how you say it, also poor. So it was around our game against Frosinone. I don't know how you say that one either. Frosinone. Around that game, I thought, you know what? We need to mix things up a little bit, and we need to start using a new formation. So I decided, like I said in the last video, let's start messing around with some of those other formations. We've settled on a 4-3-3 DM wide, and it's been pretty successful for us since we started doing it. Again, if we look back at our form, we've won 3 games on the bounce. We've scored 10 goals. No, we've scored 11 goals. I lie. Scored 11 goals and conceded 2. That's pretty successful. We're using a tiki-taka as well, just to sort of keep the ball moving for us, holding on to possession, because one thing we were struggling with, especially in those 3 games, we just weren't hanging on to possession. So making that change has definitely had a bit of an impact for us. And again, Comey's come good with some goals. Della Morte's been scoring. Traore, Calvano's scored. Everybody, all the big boys, they're getting goals from all over the park, which is really, really great. Some other team news, just to go through some stuff. So you know how we signed Adi Nalic to be our utility player, and he was unhappy that he wasn't getting his number 22. Yeah, he's decided he doesn't actually like it here in Italy, and has requested that he move. He wants to go back to Sweden. So luckily for him, Hammarby IF from Sweden came in with a bid for him. We've made a little bit of money off him, so 675k. Not ideal, obviously he was worth around 900, but we made some money off him. Quick turnarounds, that's what we do here at Pro Vercelli. You don't want to be here, we get him out the door. Other news in terms of signings, on deadline day we did make a bid for this boy, Vignato, who I believe on my Rochdale stream that I'm doing at the moment, I think he was at Man United or something like that. He was at one of the big boys teams, so potentially could become quite a good player. Yes, we've only got him in on loan. He's not featured for us that much, mainly coming in off the bench, just as a bit of a rotation option for Traore on the right. But he seems like a half decent player, and he's basically going to be doing the same job that our what's his name? I've already forgotten him because he's not going to be around here. Nalic, our Bosnian boy, so pretty much going to be the same sort of player as him. Hopefully just a bit of a utility player along the front for us. But overall, since we made that change in formation, we've come pretty good. And I thought I'd bring you back for a game against Palermo, who, by the looks of things, they've done a little bit of yo-yoing in recent years, gone all the way down to Serie C, or Serie D, sorry, in the 2019-20 season, but they've slowly been creeping their way back up, maybe doing a little bit of a Pro Vercelli journey of themselves, trying to get themselves back up to Serie A, where they were for quite a long time, as you can see here. But I thought I'd bring us back for our game against them. They're also in 3rd, and a win here could see us creep up to 2nd in the league, which would be pretty good after 9 games. And then, of course, we're going to play the game against Perugia as well, who, if memory serves me as well, were also a Serie A team in the not-so-distant past. Yeah, right at the start of the century, they were there. And then again, they've kind of been all over the place. What's going on in Italian football? What's happening to these teams? They're all yo-yoing everywhere. Anyway, let's see how we get on against these boys. First game, though, is up against Palermo. So here's the team that we're going to take into our match against Palermo. Not a crazy change from what you're used to seeing. Rizzo's in goal. We got Gentile at right back, Mazzi and Perotta in the middle with Zagaritis at left back. And then that little triangle of midfielders we've got in the middle, we've got Palumbo sitting in that defensive midfielder position, and then Diambo and Nalic sort of controlling the middle. We're giving Nalic a little bit of game time before he leaves us. Seem a bit unfair not to let him play. Traore, Della Morte and Comey leading our line as always. It was worth mentioning as well, there was quite a bit of interest in Rizzo, but we managed to offer him a new contract. He's on a little bit more money than he was before, but he is definitely developing into an absolutely fantastic player for us. And according to our scouts, not a single negative on the boy. Let's hope he can keep a clean sheet today. Okay, jumping into the match against Palermo. We're at home. We've got a good little run of form for us. Won 3 games on the bounce. Can we make it 4 here? Interestingly, they actually signed a player that we were interested in getting. Spanish defender called Mascaro. He decided to go to Palermo instead. A little bit frustrating because he would have been absolutely fantastic. He was like 20 years old and was apparently like top tier Serie B defender. Would have definitely helped us in those games where we had a little bit of poor form. But unfortunately he's gone to them. Although he didn't look like he was starting for them, so maybe he's injured or something. Traore moving the ball down the right hand side for Vercelli. Gets his cross in, can't quite find his teammate. Cleared by Matiu. Diambo in the middle now. Nalic plays it over the top. Comey! You'd be putting money on him to score from there. He's been bagging them in for fun recently, like always. He started finding the goal again, which was nice. He was a little bit ropey in our first few games. Maybe it was just a little bit of nerves coming up to Serie B, but now he's finally realised where the goal is and he's putting him in for fun. Christian with the throw for Palermo. Throws it to Callo in the middle now. Switch play. Goes over to the left-hand side. Elliot brings it into the middle. Moved all the way back. And Palermo moving the ball quite nicely around us at the moment. Tresoldi over to Matiu. I think that's Matiu, so I'm going to pronounce it anyway. Elia, closed down by Traore. Can we get the press on them a little bit? Oh, played over the top for Mazzocchi. He's got a... Oh, that was poor. I big up Rizzo. I big him up before the game. And Mazzocchi scores for him. Unbelievable. The only shot they've had. Never mind, boys. Get a clean sheet another day. I've noticed as well, since we've started playing this 4-3-3, a lot of teams in Italy... When you look at them on the kind of the preview page, they're all weak to a 4-3-3 DM. Doesn't look like a lot of teams play it in this league, or maybe there are some teams that do play it, but there's not a lot of people that can play well against it. I don't know. I mean, obviously, Palermo look like they're doing okay against it at the moment, but yeah, there doesn't seem like a lot of teams are comfortable playing against it, which is interesting. And they all seem to be playing 5 at the back as well. Well, quite a few of them play 5 at the back. Which I guess is very Italian if you think about it. Ball moved forward, but Pigliacelli picks it up very easily. Probably going to start a new counter-attack for Palermo. I figured this would probably be one of the games that we'd struggle inside. I didn't want to show you all the time. I didn't want it to be like last season where we'd just be winning all the time. It's quite fun to see us lose, I suppose. Christian can't quite get his cross in. Played back to Rizzo. He sends the ball forward. Can Comey get on the ball? Not quite, but it's headed to the path of Traore. He's tackled by Elia, but he picks up that loose ball again. Gets his cross in. Comey! Once again. Back-to-back goals. He is on tremendous form. Come on, boys. What a finish. Excellent balling as well from Traore. Great vision. Those two have started linking up really, really nicely. Since we obviously, since last season, those two have pretty much just been up the top together, obviously with Della Morte over on the left. But those two, crosses coming in from Traore every single time. Pretty much a guaranteed header from Comey. Controlling possession. Let's try and step it up another gear, though. Let's try and get a second, maybe a third goal. Like I say, the games that we conceded since we've been playing this formation, they're the ones that we obviously we started with the conceding. We went 1-0 down and then we went on to win 4-1 or 2-1 or 3-1 or whatever the scores were. I can't remember now. But yeah, we do well when we go down a goal, funnily enough. Let's chuck a bit of encouragement at the boys. Gentile with the throw. Throws it to Palumbo. Gets his cross in. Della Morte! Bottom finish. Come on. 2-1 up against Palermo. You see what I mean? We'll go a goal down. We'll let them have their moment, and then we'll just turn it on and then absolutely start dominating it. And I love it. I love it when we do this. It's nice to see us winning. Obviously, last season was pretty successful. Won a lot of games in that league. It's nice to see us winning in a more competitive league. Interestingly, Parma are above us in the league. I haven't done any subs yet. That's stupid. Parma are above us in the league, even though we've got a better goal difference. I need to look into that because that doesn't seem right to me. Pabai's a bit nervous, but I definitely need to take Gentile off. I think I'll take off Nalic for Calvano, and I think I'm also going to take off Traore for Vignato. Give him a bit of team talk. See this result through, boys. Make sure we don't concede any. Pabai's been a bit ropey in Serie B. He's been one of the defenders that's concerned me every time he's got on the pitch, which isn't great because he was very good last season, obviously, but maybe Serie C was about his level. Hopefully he can come a bit better by the end of the season, else it's going to be a lot of Gentile at right back, even though he's more naturally on the left, I believe. Christian for Palermo launches it forward. Can Cuas get onto it? Gets his cross in. Mazzocchi right in the top corner. I think he's onside there. That looked onside to me. We're not happy about it. They're walking away from the ball though. I've noticed that if it's onside, yeah, it's onside. I was going to say when we've had offside, offside contention goals with VAR, we just pick the ball up and just run back to the halfway line. And I always think, yeah, but if they turn around and go, it's not a goal, boys, then you've got to, the ball's got to get back down there. But I guess either way, you're either guaranteed the goal or it's a little bit of time wasting. Yeah, perfectly played onside. I don't even know how there was any contention really there. Is this going to be a draw against Palermo? Maybe we can do something in the last couple of minutes. I don't think we can by the looks of things. No, unfortunate. I'll take a 2-2 against Palermo, though. They seem like they're a pretty solid Serie B side. There's definitely some positives to take from that. Yeah, that last minute equaliser was very, very frustrating. Never mind, though. It's always very difficult when especially when you've come off a season where you've, been unbeaten, to come up against teams that actually cause you a bit of an issue. Yeah, no one likes to see that, I suppose. But there we go. I'm gonna simmer a few days, and I will see you at the Foggia match or Foggia match. Again, I'm so sorry. I don't know how to say any of these team names. Okay, here we go. Jumping into the game against Foggia. I'm gonna say Foggia. I'm gonna call them Foggia. Why not? A couple of slight changes made to the setup. Nothing massive. We've brought in a Zeffi for the main man, Della Morte, just to give him a bit of a rest because he's been playing quite a lot this season, and obviously I've got to try and keep all the other players fit. Macchioni, Massi, Perotta even, and Gentile making up our back. Rizzo obviously stays in goal. We've got Palumbo, Calvano and Diambo taking up the midfield. Traore still on the right, and obviously Comey, the goal machine, up top. Let's get into this game. One thing I was going to ask anyone watching, if anybody that is out there watching this video, simple question that I'd just love to hear an answer from you. What's been your favourite lower league save? Like, what's been, if that's the sort of save that you go for, if you are keen on, managing a smaller team, or, what's been your favourite, lower league team to bring to the top? Tell me about your stories. I'm always interested to hear what people have achieved on Football Manager, because it's, obviously with a game that's been going for a pretty long time, you can get some pretty interesting moments come out of it. And obviously, if you watch anybody over on Twitch, you can see them doing some kind of cool things with little journeyman saves, or, like I say, non-league to legend sort of stories. They can always be pretty interesting. So yeah, if you've done a save, or if you've currently got a save on the go, just let me know how you're getting on with it. I want to hear what's going on with things. Also, did want to mention as well, the shirt that I'm currently wearing, if I just quickly do that, this bad boy, Ugandan third kit. Very nice. For no particular reason. I just like the look of the shirt. Nothing has happened. Literally no stats. Nothing has happened. There we go. We've had a shot. That was weird for a moment then. There was literally no match stats whatsoever. I was thinking, is there anything happening in this game? Are we going to try? Foggia, of course, obviously one of the teams that came up with us. Foggia, I don't know how to say it. I'm going to say both ways. They're sitting in the relegations at the moment, which does makes me feel a little bit better that we're doing all right. Derui, though, plays it back to Berra. It looks like they might be getting the first attack on, although Perotta tackles. He's tackled now by Berra, played in the middle, sent over by Rolfini. Unlucky them. A bit of encouragement at the boys. Boring first half. That's one of the things I do love about this game sometimes, is that you can have games that are just endless highlights, just end-to-end stuff, and then sometimes just nothing happens. I'm going to increase the tempo slightly. We're going to, you know what? We're going to go to a we'll go to slightly lower. We're going to just increase the tempo a little bit, because one of the games I did before we met here. I did make that tweak, and it actually helped us a little bit on the road. Just boosting that tempo a little bit, just trying to, basically, settle into the game and now just sort of try and speed up movements. Hopefully, it works for us. Although I can notice there's quite a few people. Well, there's a couple of boys, Calvano and Comey, not playing particularly great though. Perotta throws it to Palumbo though. Back to Palumbo, gets his cross in. Comey! Shouldn't have spoken. Sorry, Jean Mario. I should know better. You're obviously going to score every time you're given an opportunity. It's going to become a new icon for the channel. I can see it. We had DK in the early days when we were doing the West Brom beta save. Should address that actually. Obviously, stopped uploading that pretty much as soon as we got to the Premier League. Two reasons. One, Premier League, crazy hard when you're West Brom and you've got a rubbish squad. And reason number two, Twitch. Twitch was just doing a lot more. I was streaming a lot more over on Twitch, so I put a lot of energy into that, trying to get that up and running, which seems to have done okay. But obviously now we're back doing the Pro Vercelli, and the plan is to see this save through until we achieve what we want to achieve, which is get Pro Vercelli back to Serie A and hopefully win the league for them at the top. Obviously, we've got to get there though. Let's not run before we walk. Let's concentrate on this league at the moment. Currently sitting in 5th. I'll take 5th so far. After 10 games, sitting in 5th is more than ideal. More than ideal. I think I'm going to take off Perotta for Zagaritis, because he's been a good little loan. He's not been too bad for us. Might bring on Emanuelo for... No, I'm not going to bring you on. I'm going to bring on Della Morte. Zeffi, as mentioned in the transfer episode, I realise now was a little bit of a panic one. If I just waited literally a week or two, I would have seen Vignato available. And we would have got him and it would have been fine. He's not been great. Maybe he'll come good. Apparently he's got room to grow, so hopefully he can turn into some sort of player. But I don't think that'll be whilst he's with us, unfortunately. Are we going to be scraping a 1-0 against Foggia? Which, if we are, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it, lads. No complaints from me. It's 3 points on the board. There we go. 1-0 against Foggia. Not bad. Not bad, considering they're in the relegation zone. Comey's obviously been absolutely incredible for us. Nice work, boys. Yeah, Palumbo has been really good. Apparently, I think we have an option to buy. Optional future fee of 4.2 million. Considering our current financial state, I don't believe that we will be making that bid. We've got no money. So getting promoted would probably be really helpful for us, even if we got relegated again. But the money that we'd get would definitely be beneficial. I think that's where we're going to leave that, though. I'm going to do a little bit of simming again, and I think I'm going to come back. Where shall I come back? I think I'm going to come back for the Crotone and Ascoli games. Was it Crotone? And Ascoli games. Double header of home games. I know we've got Udinese there. I want to play the later Udinese game when we've got them at home. So you will see a game against Udinese, who I believe they're the favourites to go up. Although they're currently sitting in second against Lecce, who we beat. So that's nice. We'll leave it there though. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have enjoyed what you see, make sure you give the video a little like and also subscribe to the channel. My name's been Dan, aka D-Boy Plays, and until the next one, look after yourselves. Ciao Bella. See you later.